Trunks, Goten, and Videl have gone on a trip to find the 7 magic Dragon Balls. But their fun has been interrupted by the arrival of an unexpected guest, Broly. Sensing danger, Gohan raced to the rescue, but even he was little help against the legendary Super Saiyan. Their prospects for survival seem bleak, but the Dragon Balls have suddenly granted them a glimmer of hope. Somehow, Gohan, Goten, and their deceased father Goku have been allowed to combine their powers for a final attack. Goten, Trunks, and Videl went on a quest for the 7 magic Dragon Balls. And along the way, they soon found themselves rescuing a quiet village from monsters.
Wow, Videl! Quit complaining.
In spite of Goten's childish behavior, the young heroes somehow managed to defeat the monsters. The next morning, Videl sensed a strange presence.
What are you doing? Do you know what time it is?
There's a lot of plot points in this film that are just completely unusable by the game because a lot of them involve talking or are just obvious filler because they needed to fill the whole 53 minutes with something. And as always, I'm going to tell you what you missed out on. When they found the village and found the village was under attack by a monster, they also found a priest with the village. And the priest was the village's only source of inspiration, and he wasn't very good at what he did. He seemed to think literally everything was a curse and did nothing to stop the monster. So Videl, Goten, and Trunks decided to stop it themselves. They did this by trapping it with food, and that crying that Goten did at the beginning there in the cutscene was simply because he wanted the food that Videl was using to trap the monster. Oh, and lastly, if you're wondering why they were out searching for the Dragon Balls, it was simply because Videl had never seen Shenron and wanted to see him for herself. And you can't really blame her, because Shenron sounds kinda cool, not to mention how easy it is to collect the Dragon Balls anymore. Like, seriously, it only took them a day. They did accidentally lose the last Dragon Ball before they found this village, so they're still technically in the process of looking for that one. Oh yeah, and Videl didn't sense Broly's presence or anything like that. If she did sense Broly's presence, then surely Goten and Trunks would have sensed it as well. What actually happened was that there were loud fucking explosions and Videl went to see what they were about. It's up to you whether that makes more or less sense than her sensing his energy. Anyway, you've heard this a lot, but this fight between Videl and Broly was not much of a fight. But the game needs to drag this out as long as physically possible, in spite of it having so much less story than pretty much every other Dragon Ball movie to this point. Videl quickly ends up getting beaten and half drowned is what I'm saying here.
With Videl powerless to defend herself against the ruthless Broly, Goten and Trunks rush to her aid.
You totally woke me up, and I'm not a morning person!
Kakarot!
Huh? What's a Kakarot?
Kakarot!
Is it a food? Ew!
Without further warning, Broly charged in for an attack.
Oh, looks like he's not following us, huh, Trunks? He's gotta stop and rest. He is a grown-up after all. Ah! Ah!
So I guess Broly is just supposed to be kinda dumb or something in this film, because he mistakes Goten for Goku. And yeah, I understand his hatred for Goku is immense. But, I mean, does that look like Goku to you? There's something in this part of the movie about Goten finding the last Dragon Ball and a bunch of crystal balls, and rolls over the place and he loses it in the crystal balls and he has to find it or something, and Trunks is fighting Broly with all his might, but they both get knocked around and lose really hard, and there's no reason for any of these. I forgot that the second Broly movie was even in this game, and I'm so... Why? You know that like 2-second synopsis I gave you about how Broly's kicking them around and then they find the last Dragon Ball by coincidence? That doesn't even happen yet. There's a special cutscene for that after this, and they turn that into its own fight. Some of these fights don't even exist in the film because they had to drag this out so much for the game. It's not like there's anything fucking I can tell you about the gameplay. If there is one mercy in this fucking thing, it's that Bio Broly was not somehow included in the game, thankfully.
Broly plus Earth equals bad. Broly plus anything equals bad. Drones! Over there! Look! If we could just get it, we could use a wish to get rid of that monster. Goten, I'm gonna go distract him. Right.
So yeah, this is the part where they find the Dragon Ball and then Goten kind of fumbles around with it. And while Trunks is distracting Broly, he's like, shit, Goten lost the Dragon Ball again, I better start fighting for real. But Trunks gets beaten up anyway. And I can't Hercule, please save me from this movie. You know, for some reason, Broly's fucking power didn't decrease, even though it's revealed in the movie that he crash landed on Earth 7 years ago and was stuck in ice the whole time. And his power didn't decrease at all during those 7 years where he was completely immobile. Also, for some reason, Gohan isn't fucking strong enough to beat Broly. Even though if the movies were canon, they would have fought Broly before they fought Cell. And, I mean, They also spend a really long bullshit time powering up to different levels of Super Saiyan instead of just going straight to the highest one. Like, for some reason, Gohan doesn't immediately go Super Saiyan 2. And he has to wait until Trunks and Goten get hurt first or something. Which is really stupid. If you were worried about that, why wouldn't you go Super Saiyan 2 in the first place? God damn it. This film is just a huge waste of your time. It is a huge waste of my time. Even Broly's character is somehow assassinated in this movie. This is such a piece of shit.
Trunks! I got the 4-star ball! Now we have all 7! Goten! Hurry and call Shenron! Trunks! Shenron isn't coming out! What? Oh man! I'm in big trouble!
I'm amazed you guys held your own against Broly. Kakarot! That's right. You're after Dad. But he's gone. So, you'll have to fight me instead.
Even if you wanted to make the argument that maybe Gohan was losing against Broly because he lost some of his power over the years, Broly should have lost a significant amount of his power being trapped in ice all those years as well. And considering Broly was weaker than Cell, I mean, you know, everything seems really stupid when you try to fit the movies into the canon. But they try to like use a weird bastardized version of the canon. And clearly the fight with Cell took place here because Gohan can go Super Saiyan 2. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, when Gohan shows up to rescue Goten and Trunks, he explains who Broly is because they didn't know. So that earlier cutscene where they're talking about Broly like they know who he is, that doesn't make any fucking sense. This movie tries to be cute in some places by pointing out things that you might notice if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z or the first Broly movie. But then the substance of the film, the important part, is so butts that you don't want to sit through the whole film for a couple of cute references.
I did it. Hey, Krillin!
Sorry, 18. Please take care of the others.
So that last fight with Gohan and Broly involved dragging Broly into lava, and then Gohan passed out and he was about to die in the lava too or something, and then Krillin showed up wearing Piccolo's clothes and Gohan mistook him for Piccolo, and it's supposed to be funny because Piccolo showed up in the last film to save Gohan, you know. And then Krillin gets knocked the fuck out immediately by one of Broly's energy blasts, and he starts slowly torturing Gohan while everyone else is too exhausted to help at all. Including Gohan, obviously. Gohan is the most exhausted. But we're almost getting too far ahead of this fight. If I explain or comment on too much more of the story, then you'll start knowing stuff in the future, just like you did previously. The last time I got really tired of this film and started rambling about shit that don't make no sense. Like Goku being brought back from the dead by Goten wishing for him to be there with his mind. And for some reason the Dragon Balls can read Goten's mind or something? That happens in this movie. Not yet, but it's a thing that happens in this movie.
Krillin!
Why is it always me?
I'm Hercule's daughter!
Driven by her desire to save Gohan, Videl was able to muster the last of her strength. Videl! Why you? Forget it. Let's enjoy this.
Brother!
So the weird twist in this movie is that even though Goten in his mind wishes for Goku to appear, there's no like direct proof that Shenron grants the wish and makes Goku appear. But at the end of the movie, the Dragon Balls still scatter. So the only logical explanation is that the wish was indeed granted. Especially since the sky turns dark and everything before Goku's spirit appears and is like, here's how you Kamehameha the right way, let me show ya. And I mean, it doesn't really affect anything if he wasn't actually there, except make the movie dumber. I mean, yeah, Shenron not appearing is kinda dumb by itself, but it would be even dumber if the Dragon Balls scattered for literally no reason when no wish was granted. Maybe someone else can explain to me what the point of the mystery of whether Goku actually appeared is. Because if he didn't actually appear, then how did they overwhelm Broly with the Kamehameha? Because they were clearly weaker even though they shouldn't be. Oh, thank God it's over.
Kamehameha!
Kamehameha! Shinron, please! Save us!
Put everything you've got into this!
Kamehameha! Together, Goku and his two sons were once more able to defeat Broly. But how did Goku appear? Did the magic of the Dragon Balls miraculously bring him to Earth? Or was it merely a dream? No one knows.